Welcome to Manawaker Studios Flash Fiction Podcast. I'm CB Drogi. A quick note before we begin. Flash Fiction Podcast is supported by Manawaker Studios patrons on Patreon. Find out more at patreon.com/Manawaker. This week, Shelter Within the Peanut Shells by Fabiyas M.V. A snooze gently passes through his veins. His mind slips out of the steering. Nap swings Sanuja's wife's head, too, in the front seat. Their car zigzags. It shatters a roadside wall into pieces. People rush to the spot from all sides. Soon a human fence takes its shape around the car. Sanuj and Chaitanya lie soaked in blood. His soul flutters. A death rattle echoes in her throat. A flashing red light nears. There is a police jeep also just behind. "Children are safe in the back seat," a young man points out. Sub-inspector of the police breaks the glass and takes the children out, one after the other. Sarova and her younger brother, Manesh, shudder with fright. They cannot move their tongues. The ambulance races fast with its siren wailing to Alpha, a nearby hospital. Bulbs of memory blink in the drawing room of Sarova's mind. Her mom holds her wrist and helps her cut a cake. Her dad takes snaps using a mobile phone camera. April 7th. "Happy birthday to you, Sarova." Rhythm of rapture resonates within the walls of her heart. Her dad's smiling face slowly vanishes as a lava of pain flows out of her eyes. She wipes it out quickly. She clutches Manesh's arm. They are now in a shed, their new shelter. Sanuj was a clerk under the education department of the state. Office files squeezed the juice of life from him, but the words drizzling out of his wife's heart always refreshed him in the evenings. His children gave him back his lost childhood. Sheer joys were let loose during the holidays in the yard of their family. Life's beauty unfolded itself, but Sanuj feared the transience of beauty. "My children study at Movement English School." Sanuj was puffed up with pride. Movement English School was a prestigious institute in the state. All the noble and wealthy men send their kids to this school. Sarova was a very brilliant and industrious student, whereas there was a hump of laziness on Manesh's back. "Peanuts! Peanuts! 5 rupees for a paper bowl," Sarova called out. Sanuj was a government employee. He could work in one office only for 5 years. Then he would be transferred to another office in a distant place. His dream of building a house and settling at a particular place always shunned him. Sanuj and his family shifted from one rented house to another. Now 1 week has passed since the demise of Sanuj and his better half. Their house owner's compassion runs out. He demands the children to take their belongings and vacate the house. He is twisting the knife in their wounds. He takes them to their uncle, who resides 5 kilometers away. Though they reach their uncle's home on the beach by an auto rickshaw, a carriage like a tortoise, the uncle is unwilling to take a new burden on his shoulders. "I've got 3 daughters. I'm merely a coolie. What can I do?" He expresses his helplessness. Luckily, a fisherman named Aryan, the uncle's neighbor, who seems rough and ready, is really salt of the earth, opens a shelter. "There's a vacant shed beside my hut. Let the children stay there." Its walls and roof are built of thatched coconut palm leaves and bamboo poles. Sarova and Manesh go to the shed, accompanied by Arayati, the fisherman's wife. They sit on a mat inside. The children share the fisherman's kitchen. They get boiled rice and curry. Often they are satisfied with the rice porridge. Night freezes in silence. Sarova overhears the conversation between Arayan and his life partner. "They're obedient children. Oh, 2 years have passed. How swiftly the time runs," Arayan says. "Yes, they are growing up. Nothing to worry about Manesh. But what do you think of Sarova? She's a girl. She will grow up like an ash-gourd vine planted in wet sand, Ariadne says, letting fall her niggling worries. Sarova listens to their talk until she yields to sleep. A new day rises from the ashes of the last night. Arayan comes near Sarova. His words leap out of his mouth without a veil of formality. Sarova, you need not waste your time. I hope you will follow my advice. What do you want to say, Cha-Cha? Sarova calls him Cha-Cha with respect. So many people come to our beach. You can make some earnings by selling peanuts. It is a simple job. She really wants to earn a crust, so she readily agrees. Yes, Cha-Cha, I can do that, she says. Her voice vibrates with energy. Once, she visited the beach, hanging on her mom's hand. She played with the waves. Her dad bought them yummy ice cream and parched peanuts. They enjoyed the sunset. A long row of casuarinas stand like the sentinels on the shore. There is a park for kids. A few wooden boats rest on the sugar sand. Fishermen spread net and catch fish in the distance. Sardines and mackerels are the common fishes. Whenever the fishing boat anchors the shore, a small crowd gather for a noisy auction. Peanuts! Peanuts! Sarova's withered call haunts her parents in the dungeon of the grave. She walks, holding a bamboo basket, which is full of parched peanuts. Her shawl flutters in the salty wind. Manesh follows the wake that her soft bare feet leave behind on the sand. Their hearts beat within the shelter of peanut shells. Sister and brother float on the boundless shore, selling peanuts. This has been Shelter Within the Peanut Shells, written by Fabiyas M.V., and first appearing in The Hatchet. The Flash Fiction Podcast theme song is by Kevin MacLeod. I'm C.B. Derogi. Thanks for listening. Episode 0106, production copyright 2016, C.B. Derogi and Manawaker Studio.